Hello.
Hello, it's great to see all of you today. Thanks for giving me a few minutes.
Of course.
Of course.
And congratulations on the show, because I think it's absolutely terrific. I loved the whole thing. I loved your characters. I was totally here for it.
Phew, that's a relief.
Darren, I'd like to begin with you.
Sure.
Because this is a different kind of role. Raymond's a slightly different kind of role than we've seen you play before. But what I noticed was how much he does have in common with characters like Blaine or even Andrew Cunanan, in that he's extremely ambitious.
Yeah.
Something that could be said of most of the characters on this show, frankly. But I'm wondering, for you as a performer, what is it about playing ambitious characters that makes you so well suited to the part?
Well, first of all, I'm a pretty ambitious dude myself, but not nearly as ambitious as Ryan Murphy. And I think there is something in him that maybe recognizes that similar quality that we both have in me, maybe, that does sort of, I think, strike a chord in Ryan's own sort of, heart and head being pushed through the stories we watch. I mean, Ryan, to me, is in every piece of every show he's ever made, his story. This is a show about dreams coming true, about kids getting together and trying to smash through that wall, through that glass ceiling. And this is something that Ryan has done his entire career. And he's looked out for other people, other marginalized people, and said, all right, guys, let's go. Let's do this. Let's get in there. Let's change this shit. And that's really been his MO. So when that ambition can be something very amazing and inspiring, can be something also horrible and destructive and tragic. So I guess, that side of the coin would have been the more Andrew Cunanan side, somebody that was equally as ambitious, but when you'd apply it to something more positive, you have characters like Raymond Ainsley, who, not very dissimilar from Ryan Murphy, has decided to use film as a sort of social justice crusade. It's not just making a fun thing to take us away for a while. It's literally to take us to a new place entirely, as a way to show society not only how better it can be, but how worse we were without it, how it was a less colorful and less enriching experience with, by abiding by these rules that we've had forever. I mean, he's a visionary. He sees beyond the wall is here, and he's trying to cut through it. And that's exactly what Raymond does. So I think, I feel lucky that he's asked me to play anything, but I've never really thought about it until you asked me that. I think maybe there's a piece of his own ambition that he's imbibing into characters that he's allowing me to play.
I'd love to ask you about it sometime. That's a fascinating answer.
Yeah.
Ladies, both of you play aspiring actresses in the show. Samara, you play Claire, the daughter of the studio chief. Laura, you play Camille, who is someone that does not come from as much privilege as Claire. One thing that I love about the show is the way it toys with expectations. So usually in a show like this, we would see the two women battling it out for stardom. That's not really what happens here. Your characters reveal themselves in some very interesting ways. So, Laura, I'll start with you. Is it as refreshing to you as it is to me to see women working together and becoming friends rather than backstabbing each other?
Absolutely, yes. I just love that it took that turn and wasn't sort of the expected outcome between Sam and my character. And, we said it to each other repeatedly, like, it's so nice that we get to become friends, and us and our characters through this. But it's so nice to see female camaraderie and friendship, especially in a timing of the 1940s where these women were coming from completely different worlds, and friendships between Black people and white people didn't happen very often, and they had completely different upbringings and standings in society. So to be able to come together and want to make this film together and want to tell a story that's bigger than just themselves and their own ambition to do this for other people as well, it was super refreshing.
That's
yeah,
great.
and I think they both, even when they were at odds with each other, they both respected each other a lot. And then when they became friends, it kind of reminded me of Ella Fitzgerald and Marilyn Monroe, how they really connected, even though they came from completely different backgrounds.
I love
Absolutely.
that. I didn't think of that.
I was
What a
going to say
wonderful
something interesting about this show that I just thought about now. You were talking more about, a lot of, having an interracial relationship, much less a romantic relationship. One of the things that I really like about the show that I've said many times is that we've kind of given Hollywood the Hollywood treatment, which is to say there's a lot of things that we decide not to put so much attention to. Like, there is a real danger to an interracial relationship to the 1940s of a friendship. There are things that people are doing that are dangerous and very scary. And I think what's so fun about the show is that we less focus on that and more amplify the resilience and hope of these people, where that is like a given. And like, because we all know that's a scary, like, given bad guy, invisible bad guy in the main bad guy of the show is the 1940s. Like, that's our adversary. So what's so great is that we don't necessarily kind of hammer that out so much as celebrate what it is to be a dreamer and the resilience of hope and getting together with other people who think like you, and the joy that experience is to watch is something that
it is a dreamland.
Yeah.
Well said. It's the sort of Don Quixote treatment. You see the world as it should be, not as it actually is.
Absolutely.
Thank you, all three. Congratulations on the show. Thanks for giving me a few minutes today.
Of course. Take care, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.